the current era, we encounter tons of waste every day in our day-to-day life, putting a risk to our environment and our health. But a small hero has emerged, silently turning these mountains of waste into valuable and eco-friendly products. This hero is the black soldier fly. Zaida Agri Solution is a Kenyan company who are using their expertise and these magic insects to turn these mountains of waste into valuable products through the black soldier fly farming.
Welcome to Zaida Agri Solution. My name is Larvae. I am an entomologist, parasitology specialist working with Zaida. Zaida Agri Solution is located in Kisii County, inside Kisii National Polytechnic, along Nairobi Highway. Zaida is a private organization working to improve and utilizing organic waste into high quality fertilizer and animal feed. Zaida is a group of 4 specialists. We have a data analyst, we have project manager, we have an agriculturalist and agronomist, horticulture. Then we have entomologists, a specialist working directly with the insects. By use of black soldier fly, we are trying to address the issue of climate change and recycling of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere by collecting the waste. Instead of leaving them to degrade in the market, we are collecting and utilizing them to produce manure and animal feed.
Join us as Zaida Agri Solutions take us through the remarkable life cycle of the black soldier fly.
The whole life cycle of the BSF involves and undergoes 6 different stages. First instar, second instar, third to fourth, 6th instars, then adult fly. So at the first stage, after hatching into larvae, the larvae grow gradually in different sizes. So and they are fed with different amount of waste in different stages. At the hatchling stage, they are fed using some dairy meal, whereby they grow into the 2nd and 3rd instar. At the 4th and 5th instar, this is when they consume organic waste and they are able to decompose the organic waste into manure, into fertilizer. And this stage at the 4th and the 5th instar, this is when we are able to collect, to harvest the larvae and dry them. We kill them and dry them. There's a procedure, a whole of it, of drying and processing them and packaging them and taking them to the market. This is when we can even pellet the maggots and mix with some other brands to make them animal feed, or you can even feed them without the mixture. At the 6th instar, this is when the pupae, the maggots are pupated into a pupa, and this is when the developmental stages of flies develop and later on emerge after 2 weeks into flies, the adult flies, that then goes back and lay the eggs that repeats the same cycle.
After mass of eggs have been carefully laid by the black soldier fly, the harvesting process begins as explained by Valerie.
This is how our egg harvesting is done. We collect the eggs, the wooden eggs, where the black soldier have laid the eggs from the cage. Then as you can see, they lay into these spaces. These are the eggs that are laid they are laid in masses. One female fly lays up to 500 to 900 mass of eggs. And this is how harvesting is done. You gently remove from the wooden egg so that you cannot damage them. They are so tiny and delicate. Slowly and gently to the bowl. And the reason why they lay their eggs into the spaces, this is to make sure that their eggs are safe. After harvesting the eggs, we weigh using this kitchen scale in grams. In this case, we are able to get 4 grams of the eggs. Then we incubate them. After 4 days, they will hatch into the small hatchlings.
As tiny as they are, the eggs begins to breathe life after being taken good care of as the stages advances.
We harvest them and incubate them at our improvised nursery. This is our improvised nursery, and these are the eggs harvested from the larvae. This is how we incubate them. Prior to incubation, we prepare some dairy meals so that when the hatchlings hatch from the egg, they crawl down this net to the feed, where they start feeding from day 1. They are small, not very visual when they are still small. From day 1, when you collect the eggs, they hatch into hatchlings after 4 days and start feeding immediately from the first day they hatch. So they feed on the dairy meal for 5 days. Then we had another dairy meal for another 5 days. Then from now 10 days, we transfer them into organic waste collected from the market. This is when they are able to decompose and to feed on the waste. They feed on that waste and in turn produce a manure by their remit. 10 grams of eggs hatch into 2 kgs, 2 kilograms of dairy meal. They feed for 5 days. Then after 5 days, I had them to another 2 kilograms of feeding dairy meal for another 10 days. After 10 days, they are ready to feed to the wastes that are collected from the market.
Zaida Agri Solutions doesn't work single-handedly in collecting the waste from the market and then prepare them for the larva. Rather, they have other people who work and segregate the waste from the market and bring it to the farm.
At the market, I partner with the Kisi Smart community. These are the people that help me collect, aggregate the waste from the market, sort them and transport them. We here on site.
As the eggs transform into larvae, awaiting to advance to another stage, their meals are prepared in order for them to start their magic. Their meals is none other than the tons of waste we encounter every day.
This is my waste collection bins. This is where I collect the waste from the market and store them here. In the process of the collection, we also grind and paste our waste into fine paste that they can enable the insects the maggots to digest. This is how we paste. This is majorly the market waste, kitchen waste, and some vegetables grinded together, crushed, shredded. These ones are yet to be shredded, the fruits. So we get them from the market, bring them here, we grind them and store them here. Then after this, we go and feed them to the maggots.
After the waste is prepared and ready, the feeding begins, where the larva is introduced to them.
This is how our feeding is done. This is the organic waste from the market, well crushed, pasted into this. You place the feed on the trays, distribute them equally to make a good level that is equal. We take our larvae, the hatchlings, and introduce them onto the waste. We dose them into the waste. They will find their way and crawl and continue feeding on the waste. Then we do our leveling, depending on our leveling is done according, like in my case, I have done it from the heads, the day I harvested the heads, and this level we still stick to the last stage of the cycle.
Feeding continues afterwards, and the larva grows rapidly as they continue with their role of breaking down the waste until they reach the harvesting and packaging level.
For another 10 days, 2 weeks, the larvae will have grown to a different stage. This is the second insta of the stage. That was the first insta. This is the second insta. This is how they appear. So at this stage, at this second Easter, they stay in that tray for 2 weeks and they are fed 3 times in the same 2 weeks. They grow progressively to the 4th and the 5th Easter, where we can harvest them for packaging, for processing and packaging at this stage. This is the 4th and the 5th Easter, the pre-pupil stage. At this stage, we kill them. We use hot water to sterilize and kill them, and package them, brand them, and take to the market. This is before pupation.
As they transform and enter into pupation stage, some are retained to ensure there is continuity so that they can carefully take flight and continue with their ecological mission of laying eggs and ensuring the cycle continues.
The pupation stage where we have packaged, we usually separate a few to pupate them so that they can emerge into flies for incubation. These are the pupa. This is how they appear. At this stage, they are not feeding; they are just dormant. And this is where the adult developmental stage occurs. So from here, I incubate my pupa on the larve gauge. Since I don't have the dark gauge, I incubate them on the larve cage so that they can emerge into flies and start laying their eggs again. For my case, because I don't have a dark cage, so that where they develop without any distraction, I shade them with some wood chips give them the dark environment. This is how I do it. I shade them to provide them with the dark environment. For their adult developmental stage. Then I put them into the larve gauge to complete their cycle and emerge into flies. After they emerge into flies, the only thing they feed as flies, they just take water. We soak. You get a cotton wool or a cushion, then you soak their water so that they can suck from the cushion. They only take water instead of the feed when they are adult. So here there's a whole process of oviposition, mating, and after mating, for the male, it finishes its cycle, it dies. For the female, after laying their eggs, they die. And the whole cycle repeats itself. I start again collecting the eggs, incubating, and the whole cycle goes back to the adult.
As some packaged ready to go to the market and others continue with their reproduction, the story doesn't end there, as the dead flies and the remains after feeding are turned into fertilizers.
After the pupae emerge into flies, I incubate them into the larve gauge so that they can be confined here, and the whole process of mating, of oviposition is done here. So at this stage, when they have that process of mating, the male after fertilization it dies, and the female after laying their eggs they also die. So the remains of the dead flies, I collect them and mix them with the fertilizer from the organic waste consumed by the maggots. This is how I do it. The organic fertilizer. This is how I do it. I blend them here. They will have consumers. They will have consumers. It is known as fast. Fertilizer is known as fast. And this is how it comes about. After I have fed my maggots with the waste, the organic crushed waste, they decompose it, they feed on it. Then the remains of the maggots are the ones that become the fertilizer. You can see. they consume them into less. This is how I harvest my maggots. Let's get the fertilizers. You leave them to settle, they'll go down, they'll crawl down, then the fertilizer will be up. So I'll just collect them. This is what I get.
The black soldier fly farming is one of the solutions to curb the tons of waste around us, as it turns the waste into valuable resources. This business is not always a walk in the park, as Valerie explains the challenges they went through as Zaida Agri Solutions.
That we faced from the start, we had since we had to source everything from our pockets, we had to first inquire where we're going to get the seeds, the BSF eggs, to start our colony. So we bought the heads and started our colony. We had to improvise everything from the larve gauge, to accommodate the whole process, the traps, feeding, and also another challenge is sourcing the waste from the market. We still have to dig deep into our pockets so that we can get people to segregate the waste for us and for also transport.
Zaida Agri Solution offers more than just the BSF farming to the community. They offer other services from BSF which are explained by Valerie.
At this stage, we offer training to the farmers who are willing to start up the business. We also offer, we sell our products, the maggots for poultry feeding, the pig feeding. We also formulate the feed, the maggots and other ingredients to make the feed. We also offer, we sell fertilizer that we produce to the farmers. Then for the training, if you need some training, you can reach us through the line, Zaida line 0726 722 888.
That is all about the black soldier fly life cycle and Zaida Agri Solutions for today. But before we leave, Valerie and Zaida Agri Solution had a message to pass.
This actually captures the small farmers that want to start this project. The project actually requires a full commitment. Like you see, the way you handle the eggs, they're so tiny, they're so small, it needs a lot of time and commitment. So, and even sourcing their feed, you have to take them to steps, a whole lot of steps. So that is one of my advices to the farmers. wish to pass this request to the government, to the sponsors who would wish to partner with us, and even Kisii Polytechnic. I would request them to help us fund this project so that we can go commercial and help community with the training and provide more products that can provide food security. Since, for example, the maggots are the protein part of the feed that is formulated. In this case, it offers food security in terms of, for example, when we supplement the soya is meant for the human consumption. We can use the maggots for the animal consumption. So I would urge the government and the sponsors who are willing to join us to give us some grants to help us go commercial and help the community as a whole, and people who are willing to start this kind of projects, and also fund our trainings so that we can be able to move worldwide or countrywide for training, for people to enable themselves work on their own. My advice to the community, especially now that it captures the small farmers or someone who is interested in doing the poultry, for example, the poultry, and maybe you have a small farm that you want to do with the fertilizer, the BSF, you can start it with any amount of money that you have, because it entails the collection of waste from the market that is affordable. Go outside there, the young generation, that is the youth, and the small farmers who are willing to start such kind of a project that will benefit them with the animal feed and fertilizer for their farms. The project is very much friendly, accommodative, and money friendly. This is because the feed that you use to feed the black soldier fly are only sourced from the market. The waste that are thrown away from the market, you only go to collect them and come and feed them to the maggots. And in return, you will get the fertilizer for your farm and the animal feed from the maggots. So if you're willing to start such a project, come for training. I will train you how to start it from the scratch until you get to know what you're doing exactly in each step that is involved in the whole process.